These manifolds themselves are completely unique. You don't see them everywhere. I'm not the biggest seller, I'm not the biggest workshop. That I've got no problems with, but I provide a really unique product to a unique market. Hopefully everyone appreciates that. G'day everyone, Ariel from CPC again, workshop update number 3. Anyone who's ordered a manifold recently would most probably notice that we've been providing an update at pretty much at every stage. At the time it's been machined, then it's going off to anodising or carbon fibre or anywhere in between all those external parties, and then coming back to us for assembly. Here's a bit of an example of what we got going out the door. One of our carbon fibre plenum billet intake manifold for a 2JZ GTE. This one's with the Bosch drive-by-wire throttle body. What makes it different to everyone else? Well, just have a look at it. No one else can compare to this kind of product. Carbon fibre, full carbon fibre plenum. Not just a carbon fibre wrap or dipped in carbon fibre, whatever you want to call it. No, this is a full carbon fibre manifold. Withstands, I say, a warranty to 50 PSI. We've seen them go well in excess of that, but just to keep everything safe and make sure everyone knows what's going on, we warrant them to 50 PSI. The runners are to suit 6 or 12 injectors. As you can tell, custom color anodizing, black, red, purple, green, gray, whatever it might be. On top of that, the manifolds themselves, if we turn them around, just a quick little look at what's going on. Oh, nearly dropped that. Direct nitrous ports on the bottom. Not many people use them, but it's always there. They just come standard with all of them. And our idle air control valve or vacuum source for idle air control valve. All your map inputs and outputs for the ECU. All the fuel rails come with -8 tapped on the end of them, ORB fittings. That's our 2J. Here's an example of our RB manifold. Same sort of deal. Again, this one's a carbon fibre plenum. All CNC machined, all in-house, all designed and programmed using our Fusion 360, machined on our Haas CNC machines. These manifolds have been around since, I'm going to say, like 2016, 17. We've sold a bunch of these, continue to sell a bunch of these. These manifolds continue to be proven as a really popular choice for everyone in this kind of, mainly the 6-cylinder 2J and RB market. These manifolds themselves are completely unique. You don't see them everywhere. I'm not the biggest seller, I'm not the biggest workshop. That I've got no problems with, but I provide a really unique product to a unique market. Hopefully everyone appreciates that. These are ready to actually go out on Monday. I'm actually only just holding them off just for this video. Hope the customers don't mind. I'm sure they'll be all right. But these are going out Monday. These are ready to ship. That's going to the US. The 2J and the other 2J and the other RB, I think, are also both going overseas. So DHL delivers in 3-4 days from Australia to the US, which are our biggest market. With all these orders going out, that means on the back side of things, we've got a whole heap of stock that, well, it's been diminishing. Every time I make some stock and I think, oh, this is good enough. Well, looking back at our history over the last few years, I think, oh, that's good enough stock for 6 months. 3 months later, I'm out of stock. It's just the constant battles that I have. And look, being a small shop, it's myself and Leo. He's a workshop hand who goes around and pretty much does everything. I look after the machines themselves with the programming. So that means that trying to keep all 4 machines running is no easy feat, but something we try to do to our best ability. But then, like I said, so stock level is something we're always replenishing. We've got, I think, another 10 manifolds which are running at the moment. And that's on one machine. We've got one machine dedicated to stock, another machine dedicated at the moment to the Lamborghini stuff that we're doing for precision, and then we've got obviously a machine dedicated just solely for the CSF product. Lamborghini manifolds, which we manufacture for precision racing here in Sydney. These manifolds are something that I designed, 4-ish kind of years ago, maybe a little bit more, and we were kind of looking for someone to go out there and market the product or assist with not only the marketing of the product, but development of the product. Make sure that the product fits exactly as it should. And when it comes to installation, make sure all the little finer details are all taken care of. And that's where Precision stepped in, came to the party. We manufacture the manifolds solely for them. We manufacture a minimum of 10 at a time. And they look after all after-sales service as well as installation and sales. So any questions regarding our Lamborghini intake manifolds, which are made in conjunction with Precision Racing, please contact Precision Racing. On from that, I'm sure you guys have seen it a million times before. It's no secret. These CSF manifolds that we make for the Supra A90 or the BMW B58. We manufacture the Gen 1, the Gen 2 and a Race X version for CSF. That's an agreement we come to, I think 3 or 4 years ago. I'd say 3 years ago, and we're already at 600 plus manifolds. That's something that neither of us expected, neither CPC or CSF expected. These manifolds were originally designed by VF Engineering and then subcontracted to us for not only the CNC programming and machining of the product, but also welding and QC prior to delivery to CSF to then add all their little bits and pieces that make the kit themselves. Like I said, yeah, 600 plus manifolds, and that doesn't seem like slowing down anytime soon. We've got material in stock for another 50 plus, I think it's 60 actually, manifolds here ready to go. So that's something that keeps on going. Also, we've got some NRE stuff which we've been working on. You guys might see that we do a bit of work for NRE. NRE is one of our largest, or I say second or third largest subcontract worker that we do work for. That's something that continues to go on. You have a look at NRE socials, they're absolutely huge. The amount of engines that they produce, well not produce, but if they turn over and sell to customers is insane, absolutely insane. And I'm glad to be a part of that. Something that's, you know, popped up again 5 or so years ago, just by being on social media and being out there. And Tom got in contact with me once and it's all gone from there. What's happening on the CNC front, I suppose, and that's all that we do these days. I'm actually in the process of, we're reorganizing the shop a whole heap. There are some hints that I'm maybe buying another machine. This is going to be the biggest purchase I've ever made, apart from my own house. It's absolutely huge. If it happens or not, I'm not sure, but hey, look, let's see what happens. We carry a lot of material for all our products. It's only one way in, one way out sort of thing. So I want to get on top of that, and rearranging the workshop will help workflows a whole heap. So what's new in terms of products? I'm not going to say that it's not exciting, but nothing really new. Our 2JZ cylinder head is back from heat treatment. That was originally roughed out, sent over to the guys at for heat treating in NZ, actually, in New Zealand, where Rod Harvey is. He looked after that for us, sent the cylinder head back, which was only, the cylinder head is just basically roughed out. I've left around about 3 mil on everything just to make sure if there is any movement during the heat treatment process, that's eliminated by having enough material on it to go ahead and finish it. On from that is also, I've been getting constantly, I'm not going to say harassed, but it's pretty damn close, in terms of the RB26 cylinder head. That cylinder head is all but finished design. I just have to go over it and double check it versus my block drawing to make sure everything bolts on and is as expected. I've checked it against the scan and everything looks really, really good from that side of things. Now I've got the material. I think I bought material for 5 cylinder heads. I'm going to stuff up 1 or 2, that just happens. But the other ones should be ready to go. I think I've got about 5 or 6 people interested, and they're talking to me like 20 cylinder heads. There's also, I've been provided with a brand new 4G63 block and also a Honda K series block. There has been some demand from them. I'm kind of going to be pitching this at more the US market, which is the biggest user of these products. I do have some local guys which I'll be working with in terms of initial development of the product itself. But again, associating myself with the right people, making sure I'm dealing with the right people, making sure the product is right as early as I possibly can. I don't like throwing material in the bin. It's a lot of hours that goes into making just a prototype. Look, not even a prototype. Talk about a drawing. Getting to that point is more than likely like 3 weeks of just flat out work, if I was to count it that way, for each product. So it's not an easy thing to do. They are extremely time consuming, but the benefits are on the backside. Once you've got it all sorted out, the machines pretty much do their thing. Is it just press the green button? No, it never is. But anyway, that's what social media tells you. So that's pretty much it for the time being in terms of our products. The 2J and RB cylinder head and our 4G63 and K series, well, I'm going to say K24 block. I'm not going to say they're available. Don't start ringing me, asking me about them. No, that's just something that we're working on in the background. So what's been happening on the scene? Not much from my point of view. Not a huge amount. I did see today there was an R34 GDR, which goes by the name of War GDR. Went out and broke the outright GDR manual shifted record. That uses one of our billet intake manifolds and also our billet end tank intercooler using a Garrett core. This car has been around for a long time. It's changed owners since, but it's gone a heap of development in the background, and it's good to see the guys at Croydon Racing getting on top of that car and really testing out that new setup. I think there's plenty more to come from that car too. That's pretty much it on the scene side of things, and that pretty much wraps it up. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. That's pretty shit. Too much umming and ahhing.